Hello everyone, my name is Benny Chris Onyube and welcome to Say Prayer Ministries. I hope you had a lovely week. We are just going to start today's video by basically just telling you how the last book ended, and that was the book of Deuteronomy. Basically how it ended was Moses dying, and how we found out through that book that Moses' death was not even as a result of old age, but as a result of him coming to the end of his purpose. Now, that being said, we just want to just easily transition into today's video, and you've already seen the topic. Our topic is life strategies, featuring the book of Joshua. Now, the book of Joshua was such a short book. It had just 24 chapters, and basically the author was Joshua, but towards the end he died. So I believe that at the tail end of the book, Phineas actually wrote it. All right. This is basically what the book of Joshua is all about. Moses is now dead, and Joshua has now taken the place of Moses. Basically, Joshua is the leader of the Israelites, and you see God starting to encourage Joshua and reassure him that I am with you, I am not going to leave you, encouraging him, I chose you, all of that. And you also see like the Israelites also now having like a different mindset. You don't see the same Israelites you've been seeing. It's crazy. The Israelites that have been complaining and rebellious, it's like they have finally gotten to the point where they now like collect sense and basically like the Israelites are very faith-filled. Even the spies that were sent by Joshua to check the land they're about to inhabit, that's the promised land, they went and they came back with good news, despite the fact that people wanted to kill them. Basically, there was a prostitute that helped the spies when they went to go and look at the land and access it. And basically, when the spies got there, the prostitute helped them because she believed in the spies' God. She believed in the God that they served, and so she helped them. Basically, I feel like that was her strategy. She might not have realized it, but that decision to believe that there was a living God and this spy served that living God, and this living God was the one helping them to win their victories. Her believing this basically made her like to be a part of the Israelites, because at a point when the children of Israel went and fought and took over the promised land, she was safe. By sending the spies, Joshua had strategically decided that the best thing to do to know what they are up for is by getting people to go and see what this is about. And I believe that was also a strategy on their part. It's something I feel like we can learn from today as Christians. Just don't jump into anything. Yeah, take risks, but take calculated risks. Like, ensure that you have accessed everything, compared it with the word of God, and heard from God in your spirit before you make a move. Because that was what Joshua and the Israelites were doing. Like, they were just consistently seeking God before doing anything. And the first time that they disobeyed God and went without the instruction of God and did things outside the will of God, like they failed those, but like they lost that battle. So whatever you do, your strategy in 2020 has to be Jesus. It's like it has to be listening to the instructions of God. And we have already made it clear, abundantly clear through the course of reading this Bible, that God never stops speaking, and He consistently speaks. And you have the ability to hear Him because He lives in you as a believer. Like, there were times where God would instruct Joshua that they should literally just scream. And that was how the wall of Jericho fell down flat and they inhabited the land of like Jericho. And there were also times where God would be like, move here, do this, do that, and like that would require them having to actually fight and take over that land. So there were times where they were not required to fight, and there were times where they were required to fight. So it's always important to know when to wait, when to move, when to scream, when to rejoice, when to fight. And you cannot know that if you do not have God whispering to you and telling you the moves to make and the things to do. group of people that inhabited Gibeon, and that's like a land or whatever. And basically, when they found out that the Israelites were winning all these battles and these victories, they went to the Israelite camp, and they pretended to, like, not be from opposing camps and whatnot. And Joshua did not ask God about why they were here. Like, he just are coming, and basically when they came in, like, others heard that, like, opposing camps, and they got upset and they went to fight. Now definitely that won the Israelites a battle that they should probably not have fought, because they had to fight it on behalf of the people, inhabitants of Gibeon, but they fought it nonetheless. So that goes to show that there are some battles that we can avoid by just cross-checking it with the word of God, and by, like, hearing from God before we make those decisions. All right, so basically the people of Gibeon, I believe that was their strategy. Like, okay, I don't want to die, I'm going with the winning team. City by city, the Israelites took over the promised land, and they did this under the leadership of Joshua, with the help of God. God instructing them, following them, basically fighting the battle for them. And this is also a strategy for Christians. Like, let us take lands and territories and countries and nations for Jesus. In chapter 13, you see how the Israelites transition from quest to quest to finally settling in Canaan. That's the promised land, and eventually you now see them sharing lands among themselves, like among the tribes of Israel. Like, you take this land, you take, like, what we pay millions of naira or thousands of dollars for, or even millions of dollars for, or even thousands of pounds or millions of pounds, whatever currency, the amount that we pay for that, for land, guys, this, like, the Israelites got it for free. The Israelites got it for free. Like, they did not pay one kobo. After conquering these lands and killing these kings, they got these lands for free. Like, God gave them on a platter. They were eating like kings. Like, the food in that land was actually like milk and honey, like rich. They were eating healthily. Like, God gave them everything on a platter. But if you've been following this journey, you will see that not everything was sweet, guys. It wasn't all that smooth. Like, there were times when God had to scold them. There were times where, they went through rough patches. A lot of things happened up until this point. But at the end of the day, by having God by their side, the end point was victory. Guys, the Israelites won these battles because God is loyal to his word, and it is a great strategy to have a God who is loyal to his word by your side. It means that everything that is said in the Bible, everything that he says, every promise that he makes, it means that he means it, and he's going to bring it to pass. Chapter 24 was so beautiful. So basically, that was the final chapter of the book of Joshua, and at this point, the children of Israel have entered the promised land. They have won all the battles, they have done everything, and Joshua is pretty old now, and he's about to die. So he gives his final speech, and this is what he says. This is what the Lord, the God of Israel, says. Long ago, your ancestors, including Terah, the father of Abraham, and Nahor, lived beyond the Euphrates River and worshipped their gods. But I took your father Abraham from the region beyond the Euphrates River and led him throughout the land of Canaan and multiplied his descendants. I gave him Isaac, and to Isaac I gave Jacob and Esau. I gave the hill country of Seir to Esau as a possession, but Jacob and his sons went down to Egypt. Guys, just like flashback. Do you remember how, like, Jacob and his sons going down to Egypt was to protect them from famine? So they didn't go to Egypt because God was trying to they didn't get to Egypt because God was trying to punish them or something. No. God delivered them from famine and took them to Egypt, and things were good until somebody came and his head was touching, and they now decided to frustrate the children of Israel. And God still delivered them from that same Egypt and brought them into somewhere better. That's Canaan, the promised land. Like, despite the acts of humans and like the normal acts of wickedness and whatnot, like God will always take care of you. Verse 5. Then I sent Moses and Aaron. I plagued Egypt by what I did there, and afterwards I brought you out. When I brought your fathers out of Egypt and you reached the Red Sea, the Egyptians pursued your fathers with chariots and horsemen as far as the sea. Your fathers cried out to the Lord, so he put darkness between you and the Egyptians and brought the sea over them, engulfing them. Your own eyes saw what I did to Egypt, and after that you lived in the wilderness for a long time. Like God is showing you, God shows us these miracles because he's like, don't just like I'm not expecting you to believe blindly. Like, you've seen what I can do. Guys, he repeated, like, this miracle was repeated again in the book of Joshua, because he also divided, like, the Jordan River for the Israelites to pass through. Oh my gosh. Verse 8. Later, I brought you to the land of the Amorites who lived beyond the Jordan. They fought against you, but I handed them to you. You possessed their land, and I annihilated them before you. Balak, son of Zippor, king of Moab, set out to fight against Israel. He sent for Balaam, son of Beor, to curse you, but I would not listen to Balaam. Instead, he repeatedly blessed you, and I delivered you from his hand. Verse 11. You then crossed the Jordan and came to Jericho. The people of Jericho, as well as the Amorites, Perizzites, Canaanites, Hittites, Girgashites, Hivites, and Jebusites fought against you, but I handed them over to you. I sent the hornet ahead of you, and it drove out the 2 Amorite kings before you. It was not by your sword or bow. I gave you a land that you did not labor for, and cities you did not build. Though you live in them, you are eating from vineyards and olive groves that you did not plant. Therefore, fear the Lord and worship him in sincerity and truth. Get rid of your gods your fathers worshipped beyond the Euphrates River and in Egypt, and worship Yahweh. The most beautiful verse. Joshua continues by saying, but if it doesn't please you to worship Yahweh, choose for yourselves today the one you will worship, the gods your fathers worship beyond the Euphrates River, or the gods of the Amorites in whose land you are living. As for me and my family, we will worship Yahweh. Guys, this was epic. Choose! It is a choice who you worship. It is a choice who you serve. Yes, most of us are born into the religion that we find ourselves in. But the truth of Christianity is that it's not about you being born into it. Like, you have to actually believe to be saved. So even if you're born into it, if you do not believe, you can't be saved. Christianity is a choice. Believing in God is a choice. Serving and following God is a choice. And Joshua is asking you today to choose who you will serve, because he will serve God. How can you see all these things and not choose God? Guys, this was so beautiful a book to read. And basically, chapter 24 ended with Joshua dying. He died at the age of 110. And his assignment in this life was just to bring the children of Israelites into the promised land and got them settled there. Immediately that happened and he gave his final speech. Guys, he died. So are you seeing a pattern here? People are dying at the end of their purpose and assignments, not necessarily because they are old or because of whatever. They were protected in their assignments up until the point that the assignment was over. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please share this video if it blessed you. Share it, you never know who it will bless. And also subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. I love you guys, and I hope you have an amazing week ahead. This book of Joshua just reminded me of a beautiful song that I'm just going to sing. So don't mind my voice, but like, take the message. Marching on, moving on, spreading from here to the whole wide world. The world is growing mightily, prevailing, yes, spreading from here to the whole wide world. Hey, hey. a lovely week. Take care and bye.